A new UK study shows that men are twice as likely as women to consider themselves good at lying and getting away with it. In this study, 194 people were quizzed, with half of the participants being men and the other half being women. They were asked a series of questions, including how good they were at deceiving others, how many lies they had told in the past 24 hours, and the types of lies that they told. The study found a major link between lying and gender. Men were actually twice as likely to consider themselves expert liars. Now, this is important because you need to know how to watch out for lying guys so you don't put yourself in a situation to be manipulated or used in a relationship. And that's why in this video, I'm going to cover the 3 lies that men tell women so you can protect yourself. The findings showed that these guys are usually smooth talkers who tell more lies than others, and they usually lie to family, friends, romantic partners, and colleagues. Now, you're going to learn the reasons behind why men tell these lies and what they wish they could tell you instead. Now, let's get into the lies that men tell women. Number 1, we don't have to have sex. We can just hang out and talk. Now, this is one of the oldest tricks in the book. Often you'll go on a first or second date with a guy and he's going to try to move the date back to his place or yours. This could mean inviting you to come over for a glass of wine at his house after dinner. Or when he drops you off at your house, he could say something like, well, should I come inside and maybe we can watch a movie? Maybe you say, I don't know if that's a good idea. I'd like to take things slow. And then he hits you with the lie, we don't have to do anything that you don't want to. We can just cuddle. We can just hang out. He does not want to just cuddle. Now, there's a couple of tactics that men use to get women to come over to their house or to get the women to invite them over to their place. Now, the first is usually the most simple and it's the most common tactic that men use, and that's just leading with higher energy. Typically, when you're interacting with people, one person has more energy and is on the leading edge of the interaction. They're the ones who guide the conversation, and with that, they guide the focus. Now remember, whoever controls the focus controls the interaction, and he may just act more energized and more excited than you. And if you're a people pleaser, he may try to make you feel bad in some way, like you're ruining the moment or something. Like he might go, you only live once. We're having such a great time. Come on, trust me. Another tactic men may use is to create a compelling experience for you over at his place. He may have this special, unique food that he got overseas that he'd like to cook for you, or his condo may have a great view of the city that you can see nowhere else. Or maybe he's got a book that he really wants to lend you. He wants you to check it out tonight. Listen, some men I know put a lot of thought on how they can make their home a destination for women. They want to create dozens of compelling reasons on why you need to visit their house at that moment. Now, maybe you're saying, listen, he's a really nice guy. I've known him for a while. That's great. But I promise you, even nice guys are going to try to sleep with you. Just trust me here. He does not plan on you just staying over for a little bit, even if he says that. He's certainly not planning on just talking with you for hours, even if he tempts you with that offer. And even if you know him well and you're sure that he could just leave it at cuddling without throwing a tantrum, you just don't want to lead him on. And most importantly, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you feel uncomfortable declining his sexual advances. Men, even really nice guys, are going to act like horny, single-minded teenagers who just want to sleep with you in bed. At the end of the day, that's how most men are wired. So the best move that you can make here is to just politely decline his offer, maybe giving him a kiss and saying, that sounds nice, but I can't tonight. I had a really amazing time. Good night. And just leave. That's going to help keep the mystery alive. It'll fuel his desires to see you more. He's going to realize that he has to put in real effort to get to know you and be a better man before you would consider that. During the time he spends getting to know you, that's when he can develop more feelings for you. And that's how you hook a guy long before you ever have sex with him. Now, I know that may sound a bit old school, and I fully support a woman's right to sexual freedom. If you want to be single, by all means, go, do your thing. But if you're looking for a long-term commitment, waiting at least a month to sleep with a guy is a great way to get to know him more and to prevent yourself from getting tricked by players or immature boys. You see, men are well aware of this 3-date rule in which women wait until the 3rd date to sleep with them. So if you don't sleep with him by the 3rd date, 2 things may happen. 1, he might get fed up and disappear. Or 2, he'll be intrigued by you and your personality, and he's going to want to get to know you more. He's going to think, who is this amazing woman? she's different. And if he does disappear in that moment, you're going to know his plan all along was just to sleep with you and nothing more. And you'll have dodged a bullet. To make it easier to avoid ending up at either of your places, just choose dates that take place in public and always use your own mode of transportation. Don't let him pick you up and take you there. And that's going to ensure that he doesn't have to end up at your place and need to use the bathroom or some other excuse. And plus, giving your time more time to get to know each other on a deeper emotional level is going to help him to think of you as more than just a sexual escapade. You're going to leave him wanting more if you say goodbye to him without letting him inside your house. Remember, it's always best to indulge men in the chase and keep that mystery alive as long as possible. Number 2, I've never met anyone like you before. This line usually falls off the lips of a charming, handsome guy on your first or second date before you've ever slept with him. Now, of course, you're right to be flattered. It's a nice thing to hear. It might be cute to hear him say it. But unfortunately, this is a typical lie that men say to get women to sleep with them. Other common phrases that fall into this category are, "Oh, I wish I met you years ago," or "You're the woman of my dreams," if he says that jokingly, or just "Let's get married right now." Even if a guy is just joking, remember, we're talking about a guy saying these lines on the first or second date before you've ever slept with him. He's hitting you with this overload of affection for a reason. He's probably attracted to you and he wants to sleep with you. And maybe you're thinking, well, great, I want to date a man who wants to sleep with me. So that's a good thing. But just know that after the first or second date, he still doesn't know you. And he can't really be a great judge of character if he actually means these things, because this should take time, right? It should take time for him to get to know you as a person. But men will use charming lines like these, even if they're joking, to break down the emotional walls that you've put up to guard your heart. It's a way for him to role play, and your body can feel the same emotions, even if he's joking, as if he were saying it for real. He wants you to feel safe and become more vulnerable. He knows it's one of the best ways to get you into bed, especially if he's a player type and he's tried this tactic again and again. Now, I want you to take a look at this next video clip from a dating show called First Dates. The clip shows 2 people meeting for the first time on a blind date.
Cool, Scorpion.
Are you really?
Scorpion. What are you?
I'm a Pisces. Pisces and Scorpios are supposed to be a match.
Maria, let's just go and get married. Forget about this bit of mums. What's happening? How you doing?
I'm good.
Chemistry.
Fuck off.
Cheers.
You ready to go? We're getting another drink somewhere else.
Love you.
Love you too.
Do you see the techniques he used here? It's their first date, and he says jokingly, "Let's get married," and "I love you." Now, these are techniques that players use to make women feel more comfortable with them. So if a man uses any of these lines with you when you first meet, he's telling you what he thinks you want to hear, and he's trying to get you to be in more of a flirtatious rapport with him. So just don't take these things seriously. You can just brush it off as being flirtatious. And if he really keeps going and he just puts it on really heavy, you can call him out on it. You can look at him playfully with a big smile and say, "Do these lines usually work for you?" He might be surprised to hear you, check him like that, but he's going to love that you're smart and that you know what he's doing. And that's going to make him see you differently than other women and want to get to know you on a more deep level. And if he really likes you the way that he's claiming, then he's not going to have any problem waiting to sleep with you and putting in real effort to learn about you and to allow you to learn about him. And if he doesn't, then he was lying in the first place and he just wanted to sleep with you. Either way, at least you're made aware and not left in the dark. Number 3, I don't like talking about the future. Let's just live in the moment. If the guy that you're dating says this to you, you should definitely see it as a red flag. Why? Well, most men, especially high-quality guys, they know what they want regarding their love life, and they have dreams that they want to fulfill. If he doesn't want to talk to you about the future, it's for a reason. It could be because he doesn't imagine a future with you in it, or because he doesn't want to define the relationship. By saying, "Let's live in the moment," he buys himself time to have his cake and to eat it too. He gets to hang out with you, no strings attached, no promises made. He might even go so far as telling you, "What's wrong with what we have right now? It's so perfect." Again, this is a way men manipulate women to settle. You should be able to tell your partner exactly the kind of relationship you want with him in the future, And if he loves you, he should want to make your dreams a reality. And if he has a different idea of what his future looks like, then you both can work on that as a couple and see if you can compromise. But if he doesn't want to talk about the future at all, it's because he doesn't plan on giving you more than you have right now. Avoiding talking about the future, that's what immature men do, to stay with a woman for however long he sees fit. If he said to you, actually, I only want to date you for a few months because you're cool, but I really plan on dumping you once summer comes around. Well, then obviously you'd break up with him right there and then. So instead of making any promises, he'll keep things vague on purpose. Of course, you should want to know where your relationship is going. It's totally normal to want to make plans with the person that you love or to want to have a relationship title with the person that you've been dating for a few months. Not only does this clarity put you at ease, but it allows you to know that you're both on the same page as far as your goals go. And if you want to get married and he doesn't, or if you want to have kids in the next year and he doesn't, those are some pretty big deal breakers. But if he pleads the fifth, you're not going to see the deal breakers. He's going to get to keep having all the benefits of you as his girlfriend without having to do any of the work of compromise that a long-term commitment requires. It's normal for you to want to know where your relationship stands. So if he sees a future with you, he's going to let you know. You want the man that you're with to be upfront about his feelings, his plans, his intentions with you, and to want to discuss how he and you can make your vision of the future a reality together. If he really doesn't have any idea of what he wants, it might be time for you to take a step back when it comes to the relationship. You don't want to stay with someone for years only to find out that he was looking for something totally different. If he's keeping you in the dark about the future, it's possible that it's because he doesn't see a future with you. Now, if this is the case, it might be time to reevaluate your relationship and let him know that you're not interested in compromising on this point. You deserve to be with someone who loves you and wants to build a life with you. And if he doesn't want to, well, he's better off finding someone else, and you're better off finding someone that treats you the way that you deserve to be treated. Now that you know 3 more lies men tell women, you can use this insight to know if the man that you're dating has been manipulating you, or if he's a high-quality man who wants to get to know you more and sees a real future with you by his side. Now, if you haven't seen part 1, be sure to check out part 1, where I talk about the 5 lies men tell women, in the link in the description of this video. Now, if you want to take your learning to the next level and learn advanced tactics for not only knowing when guys are lying to you, but also understanding the male mind so much that you can basically read their mind and know what they're saying about you behind your back, then you should take a look at our brand new program called Inside the Male Mind. It gives you a step-by-step approach on how to attract a high-quality man, and it comes with exclusive interviews of real men who reveal why and how men say and do certain things in dating. Just click the link in the description below this video to learn more right now. Actually, check out these testimonials from our private community of ambitious women who've already joined Inside the Male Mind. Learning these secrets are going to give you an ability to almost read a man's mind and understand his hidden desires, which is going to help you to attract the right kind of man into your life. It's going to make you see dating in an entirely new light. And plus, you'll get the opportunity to join coaching calls hosted live by me personally, which is something I've never offered before for a program like this. If you want to learn more, just check out the free presentation where I explain the unique approach to diving inside the male mind. Be sure to watch it right now while it's still online. I probably can't keep this up for much longer. We are having an absolute maximum of 400 spots before we close the door, and we have less than 270 left. So please check it out ASAP, and thank you so much for watching. Be well and have an amazing day.